Last week's Smackdown ended in a very unorthodox kind of manner. Pre-taped segment, historic announcement, by the way, the Smackdown GM Nick Aldis announced that for the first time in company history, there would be a women's midcard championship on the main roster. Something that's well deserved. The female superstars from 2015 onward, up until now, definitely have earned and deserve a women's mid-card championship. They have the talent for it. They just need to put the proper spotlight on the division. They need to build it up properly to make it mean something. And you already know my thoughts as far as introducing new championships go. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not. Because for the most part, they lack the spotlight, they lack the time, they lack the attention to give it meaning. So I predict that not only will we have the SmackDown version of the Women's United States Championship, but the Red Brand Monday Night Raw is also going to eventually introduce the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Both divisions need those titles to build up new contenders. There's a very big gap between the main event female talent and everyone else in the bottom rung. That's one of the biggest issues with how they build up contenders for the women's championships. But I also predict that Monday Night Raw is going to go back to 3 hours once it hits Netflix next year. And SmackDown next year is also going to be 3 hours on the USA Network because they need the time. They have the talent. They need the time to properly build, to properly, give all these separate divisions, all these separate championships, the proper attention that they need to give them meaning. And I get it. A lot of fans out there, they're going nuts. They're going crazy. They love the fact that we're finally getting a mid-card championship in the women's division. I'm a fan of it too. But we need more time. We need SmackDown to go up to 3 hours. We need Raw to go up to 3 hours. Because we've seen this countless times in the past. They've introduced new championships, quote-unquote new divisions in the past. The spotlight's on them for a month and a half, 2 months, and then they fall from the cliff. They stop paying attention to them. They stopped building them. Look no further than Monday Night Raw and their tag team division. Finn Balor and JD McDonough haven't been defending their tag team championships. And that's because they lack the time to properly build the division. Again, also, I'm not going to just place it on just the runtime. It's also a creative department problem. But you might be asking yourself, well, NXT has no issue putting spotlight, making the women's division matter on their shows. Agree. I agree with that. They have no problem with that. And the main difference between NXT and the main roster is the main roster has bigger names, has more stars. Whereas the main roster, you could build up to a Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, no title on the line. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, no championship on the line. Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, no title on the line. It's very easy to do that on the main roster because they have that much talent. They have that much household names. NXT doesn't have that. NXT properly builds stars and then they send them up to the main roster. SmackDown and Raw do have that issue. That's why they need to go back to 3 hours. And I get it. A lot of people out there are going to be like, I've seen a lot of reactions on social media, especially on social media, which I don't really get. You think it's a chore to watch 3 hours of Monday Night Raw and 3 hours of Friday Night SmackDown when you say you love pro wrestling? To me, that's unbelievable. To me, that's just TikTok brain in today's society. To me, that's just complaining to complain. And trust me, IWC loves to complain just to complain. But these are steps that need to be taken. Otherwise, this women's U.S. title, and when they eventually introduce the women's Intercontinental title, it will not matter 6 months from now, a year from now, because they're going to be busy building up something else, something more important, something with bigger names. That always happens. Sorry, that's been happening time and time again. It's going to continue to happen. Let's get ahead of it and give both of these shows 3 hours. Now, as far as who should be the first champion, the first women's United States champion over on SmackDown, it can't be Bayley. Sure, she's a former women's champion, but she's had plenty of time. I'll laugh my ass off if it's Charlotte Flair returning and winning that championship. That would be hilarious, and that would make the IWC burn to the ground, and part of me wants that to happen just to see the reactions on social media. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, I mean, this is pretty much going to be a repeat of the SmackDown side of the Queen of the Ring tournament when we had that. But if I had to make one top pick to win this championship, it would have to be Chelsea Green. Pure entertainment value. She can wrestle. She can put on a show. She can make you pay attention to her. And she's got charisma. She's got a personality. She's got a character already built around her. Why not make her the Santino Marella Intercontinental Champion run of SmackDown? I get that there's Michin. I hate that name. Prefer Mia Yim. I get that you got Naomi. Hell, you can even give Zelina Vega a chance. I think she's on Monday Night Raw, though. The point is, give these women spotlight, and we need SmackDown to go to 3 hours. That's my biggest concern with this announcement. I'm thrilled. The division needs a mid-card title. Build these superstars. Give them accolades. I agree. The runtime, the attention that they're going to devote to this division, that's still left to be seen. So with that said, what are your thoughts on the announcement of the Women's United States Championship? Are you psyched? Do you think they might have issues with it? Some of them I already mentioned. Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. Not only that, leave me your prediction as far as who should be the first Women's United States Champion. My name is Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.